right, hello and welcome to the Foundations of Business, Business and Finance Unit, Chapter 16, Section 16.2 Presentation Lecture, which we will cover. You'll be touching upon the introduction to financial management in business, and specifically financial management in business. So let's go ahead and get started. Make sure that you have your note guide handy with you so that you can complete the guided notes as we go through the presentation lecture here for Chapter 16, Section 16.2. All right, what we're going to cover in this section is understanding that financial management practices are both the glue that holds a business together and the oil that helps it run smoothly. Now, there's going to be a number of aspects of this because when it comes to money and financial resources, businesses just simply cannot operate without them. So in this section, we're going to discuss the aspects of financial management as well as accounting, which is the backbone financial management function which is used to manage those finances. All right, so by the end of this, hopefully you will be able to recognize the importance of accounting in financial management, as well as be able to discuss the primary functions of accounting. Why is this so important? Well, it's important because ensuring effective financial management knowledge and skills in accounting are essential to the success of any particular business enterprise. Accountants are the individuals who will analyze the financials, bring the financial data then to decision makers, and decision makers will use that data to make decisions moving forward in order to ensure the future of the business. All right, let's take a look now. Let's break down this accounting. All right, so here we go. Accounting, first of all, is the systematic process of recording and reporting the financial position of a business. Anytime any money changes hands, either for paying expenses or collecting from customers, anything of that nature needs to be recorded and it needs to be tracked. Accounting is the process that is used to do that. Now, the financial position depends upon transactions that occur in the daily operation of the business and being able to analyze those transactions and report back based off of the business's financial health. Now, in order to record money changing hands, what an accountant will do is record a transaction. This is any activity that has an effect on the financial situation of the business. Anytime money going out, anytime money coming in, a transaction must be recorded. Accounting is often referred to as the language of business because every single business, whether it's a service business, a goods business, an international business, a U.S. business, a small business, a corporation, accounting is used to track those financial transactions. Now, some of the most essential functions of accounting include budgeting. Budgeting is used to prepare and forecast potential incomes and expenses for the future. Inventory. If we are an organization that sells goods, we may have inventory on hand that we would sell to customers when orders are processed. Payroll. Obviously, the employees who are working for us need to be paid for the work that they're doing. Cash flow. Cash flow going out to pay expenses, cash flow coming in regards to collecting from customers. Investments. What businesses might also do is they might become investors in other enterprises in order to generate income and additional revenue. All of these are going to be essential functions that we are going to look at as to how accounting is incorporated into any business enterprise. Let's take a look at budgeting. This is an example budget sheet. I'm going to go to the next slide because it's bigger. So if we take a look at this, this is an example of a budget sheet that may be used. There are others, there are different formats, but obviously the budgeting process itself is relatively the same. So this is going to be for a quarter, which is a 3-month period. So notice how we have all of our different itemized areas over here on the left. So we have projected cash receipts, that's any cash coming in, and then we also have projected cash disbursements, which is cash going out. So what we want to do is we want to put this in and estimate it, at least give us a roadmap of where we're going to indicate whether or not we see an increase or a decrease based off of our current incomes and expenses. And if we definitely have a negative cash flow, which means our expenses are greater than our income, then we have to make some serious adjustments. Let's take a look at inventory. Inventory is known in the language of accounting as merchandise. This is the goods that you buy with the intent to resell. So what you'll find is that businesses that sell goods have to buy other goods to make their good to sell to the customer. When they do that, this is considered to be merchandise. The merchandise you have on hand is referred to the inventory. So this is what we might have in our warehouse. Now, by tracking inventory in businesses, we'll be able to then determine how much merchandise is sold, what merchandise is selling well, when to order new merchandise to be sold, and which merchandise should not be reordered because it's not selling well. We move into payroll then, which is the paying of our employees. Merchandise usually gets the largest asset of the business, but payroll is usually the largest expense because we need to have individuals who are working in order for us to conduct business. And these individuals need to be paid in the form of salary and benefits in order for them to work for us. So it's usually the largest expense. Payroll involves so much cash, and it is also regulated by state and federal laws in regards to the taxes that need to be paid by both the employee and the employer. And this is done using a guided principle known as the General Accepted Accounting Principles, or shortly known as GAAP. And we'll get into that a little bit later on. All right, efficient payroll management is going to involve two important activities. First, the accountant must determine whether or not the proper number of employees are working and at the proper times. If we have that, then we can do simple mathematical calculations to determine the amount of pay for that individual for a particular pay period. Now, the GAAP, as mentioned a little bit earlier, or the Generally Accepted Accounting Principles, must be used in preparing payrolls. This is a common practice done in every business when it comes to processing payroll. Paychecks must be issued on time, and all payroll taxes and voluntary deductions must also be paid on behalf of the employee by the employer. Now, all payroll records should also be available for the managers and owners to evaluate. This is how staffing issues are addressed and how it relates to our budget and our income versus expense analysis. So whether or not we need to add staff, we need to lay staff off, or possibly eliminate positions. Cash flow. Cash flow is used to analyze cash, which is the most important asset of any business. So personal cash flow is the money that actually goes in and out of our pockets. So if we picture the business as wearing a pair of pants and having pockets, money that we can put into the pocket, cash inflow, money that has to go out of our pocket, cash outflow. Now, for a business, cash flow is the amount of cash that is available at any given time. This is an ongoing analyzation that takes place every single day as money changes hands. Money goes in, money goes out. A business's cash flow statement is very similar to a personal cash flow statement. It's just applying it in a different context. So in a business's statement, cash flow, first we have to consider all of our incomes. This is all of the revenues and money coming in for whatever reason. Even cash receipts that we might be receiving, say, from customers when we make sales. Now, all other payments then get recorded as expenses or cash outflows, and then the math is done to determine whether or not we have more cash inflow than we have cash outflow. By doing this, we can indicate whether or not we have a positive cash flow or a negative cash flow. So how do you know if you have one or the other? Positive cash flow, income greater than expenses. Negative cash flow, expenses greater than income. Here's an example of a cash flow statement that might be used. Let me go to the next slide so it's a little bit easier to see. So for example, for a month, this business has actually taken all of the cash receipts. We have sales from customers, we have interest income for total income coming in, or total cash receipts from operating activities. Then all of the cash payments, which were used to buy merchandise to make our product to sell it to customers, and any of the operating expenses. So in this situation, this looks pretty good because our total income is greater than our total expenses, and we have a positive cash flow of just over $23,000. Now, how do investments work? Successful businesses will invest for their future. Now, as profits increase, what are they going to do with this money? They could expand. They could expand by building on different factories, increasing warehouse space, building more retail entities. All of these could be examples of how to invest in their business. Now, this could also include reserve cash for emergencies or unexpected costs to try and reduce or eliminate the amount of debt the business has to take on. Now, when it comes to good records, very, very important. Obviously, record keeping is a small part of a business, but it could possibly be the most important part of the business. Now, in an article published by the SBA, which is also the Small Business Administration, accounting records furnish substantial information about a business, which not only are ways to communicate to other individuals' financial health, but also drive decision-making within the business itself. Good accounting records also help to monitor and maintain our inventory, control our expenses, fulfill payroll requirements as employees come and go, determine profit margin. What is a desired profit margin that we are trying to strive for? Are we there yet? And then improve cash flow as well. Always trying to drive to get to that positive cash flow. And then finally, measuring our performance. How well are we doing as a business in not only regards to our financial health, but also the acceptance and approval of our customers. Now, a list of publications on the financial management of small businesses. You can take a look at this resource. This is the sba.gov.library.pub, so you can take a look at any type of publications in regards to small businesses and their financial health. And this concludes the presentation lecture for Financial Management in a Business, Chapter 16, Section 16.2. Please make sure that you go back and revisit if you need to in order to complete the note guide, and make sure to submit it in Google Classroom when you are finished, and I will see you next time we meet in class.